What's up, Infected? It's Wolf of the Quarantine, and this is Kickstart Your Week. So, if you're not familiar with what this is my weekly show that I put together, and it basically covers the previous week's Kickstarters that are new, that I thought looked interesting. Now, there's really only one hard, fast rule, and I limit it to 5, and that's really the only rule. Other than that, it's really whatever caught my eye, whatever looked interesting, whether it be a theme, whether it's something that I've been following for a while, whether it's something I don't know, maybe a cool mechanic, whatever. So I basically do that. I look over them, do a little bit of research. Maybe sometimes I skim over it and that's it. And then I talk about why I think it's cool, and then I give out an arbitrary Kickstarter of the Week award at the end. So starting out here is Tiny Epic Mechs. Now, as you see here, I am a backer for Tiny Epic Mechs, and I'm a fan of the Tiny Epic games. My favorite one being Tiny Epic Galaxies with the Beyond the Black. I think it's called Beyond the Black. I actually don't know if I've actually gotten Beyond the Black, the expansion, to the table yet, but I like the Tiny Epic games. I have Tiny Epic Western. I don't think I've actually gotten it to the table yet, but I do like Tiny Epic Western, and I'm kicking myself for not backing Tiny Epic Zombies. But I do love the Tiny Epic games. They actually pack a surprising amount of depth and game into a tiny little box, usually about that big. But what this one is it has the item meeples, which they've recently come out with, which is fantastic. But it also has like mech meeples. So you have, as you see here, this is the mech, and you can eventually like power up if you can get to the king of the hill. Basically, you get the mech, and now everybody's got to like beat on you, but you're also, it's a free for all. Everybody is beating on everybody, and you want to be the last one left alive. And everybody's also got their own set of power armor, and throughout the course of the game, you're going to be able to power up and get your power armor, plus your weapons and all that stuff. And it just seems really fun. But the type of game it is it's a programming game. So basically what you're doing is you're going to be pre-programming all of your moves, and then everybody reveals and you execute the moves from left to right. And I love that, because anybody who's played Robo Rally, that can be hilariously frustrating. Somebody runs into you or pushes you, which I don't think you can push and stuff like that in this game. But whenever two people collide in the same spot, then they wind up fighting, and you use your weapons and ammo, and you beat the crap out of each other. And it's just a good brawler. Well, I say good, I haven't played it yet, but it looks like a good, fun brawler. And I'm a big fan of mecha to begin with, and this just looks right up my alley. You have all these cool weapons, and you have the cards that explain how they work, and you can also put down little landmines and turrets as well, which is really cool. You get to be able to claim different territories, because it's also like a area control kind of game as well. And if you die, you come back, you, I guess, respawn. So you're really trying to vie for control over the map. So it just looks like it's good, fun, solid game. They've got a bunch of Kickstarter stretch goals that have already happened. It looks really, really cool. Next up is Zero Gravity. Now, when I was doing the podcast with the Gamerati, which their link's always down below as well, I think it was Joey decided to talk about this one, and looks like they didn't fund, so they're coming back to try to get funded again. But this is a magnetic board game of basically three-dimensional capture the flag, which seemed really, really cool. So basically what it is this board that you see here. I'm seeing if there's a better picture. Yeah, the board that you see here, it is plastic with magnetic sheets in between it. And then at the bottom of all of the miniatures, there is metal that is stuck up in there. So that way, the miniatures will be sticking to the tops and sides and everything of the board. And I just thought that it seemed really, really interesting. I don't know whether or not the game is going to be good, but the idea is super cool, really unique, and I'm all for, innovation and uniqueness in board games. It's part of the reason why I welcome, digital apps and stuff to help in board games. Definitely, we need innovation like that, and it looks really cool. But then on top of that, the minis in this, if these are actually what the minis are going to wind up looking like, these miniatures look phenomenal. They really good detail, and I like the vibe that each one of them have. It just screams awesome. If you're like me, you're never going to have time to ever paint these. So, and then it looks like the board also has its own like obstacles, minions and stuff that come out as well. But overall, it looks really interesting. It looks and like lastly, there is only 3 this week. There was going to be 4, but there was one that I was looking at. It looked really interesting. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it looked kind of interesting. And then I started watching some of the gameplay videos of it, and then it just kind of looked like it might be a really boring game. So I wound up taking it off. So there's 3 this week, and it is the Artemis Project. And the biggest thing for this is the theme. I love the theme, but then I also really like one of the mechanics in it. So the theme is, it's in the future, and we are going to Titan. And Titan is an ocean planet with a layer of ice around it, a big thick layer of ice. And from what we can tell, and this is from what I understand, this is accurate, is there are like thermal jets underneath the planet and stuff like that, which is why there's liquid water under the surface of ice. And it technically or theoretically has the possibility to actually have life in there. We don't know, but there could be life down there as far as we know. It has the requirements from what we can tell to sustain life. And that's kind of what this game is about. We are on an expedition to Titan. And we are basically drilling through the ice. We're setting up like a mining operation up above, and then we're also setting up mining operations down below. And throughout the course of that, you're harvesting the resources and selling them back, and getting colonists there to work in these buildings and to be able to build more, and so on and so forth. All the while, you're having to fight, different events that come out, sea quakes. I'm trying to see if there was a couple in the whatchamacallit, the video, and I can't remember what they're called. But you have all these events that can come out, like a hailstorm, volcanic earthquakes, just depression and despair. I'm assuming some of the horrifying life that could be in there, and all of that. It just seems really cool. But rather than ranting on about the theme, the other thing that I like about the game is the mechanics behind it. It's a dice allocation game. Now, as dice allocation go, I have a couple of them, but it's my favorite dice mechanic. I love a dice allocation system because it takes something that's inherently already super luck-based, which I'm not a big fan of, but it gives you strategy with the luck. So now you roll dice, and if you roll like garbage, you still can do things with it. You can plan around, okay, well, I rolled like this, so what can I do with this? And this game does that in a really interesting way. So the higher your number, the more resources you're going to get when you send out your workers, basically, is what they are. So if I send out a 1, I'm not going to get that many resources. But lower numbers always collect their resources first. So now I can put that 1, make sure I get at least 1 resource or whatever. But then, or do I put a 5 and get a bunch, but the resources on each location every round are finite. So I can wind up getting screwed. I put out a 5, and then you put out a 1, and somebody else puts out a 3, takes all of the resources, and I don't get anything. So I just thought that was really cool. I like that mechanic because now if you roll like garbage, you still have options. If you roll high, you can possibly, depending on where you go, you could possibly get really a lot of good stuff. If you roll low, you can just guarantee that you're going to get stuff first. And I like that. I really, really like that. And again, the theme's there, everything's there. And that is Kickstart Your Week. So for my Kickstarter of the Week Arbitrary Award, I was torn over which one I wanted to give it to. So it's boiled down between Artemis Project and Tiny Epic Max. I backed Tiny Epic Max. Like, it was a no-brainer as soon as it went live. Well, it wasn't as soon as it went live. I think I waited, but I knew I was going to back it. I wound up waiting, make sure, money and everything went through the way it was supposed to. And then I backed it, I think, today or yesterday, somewhere around there. But I know I'm going to like that one. Well, I'm assuming I'm going to like that one because I like all of the other Tiny Epic games. And it's also mecha, which, awesome. But on the other hand, Artemis Project, everything about that game just seems so good, so cool. I'm mortified of the ocean, and it's a game about an frozen ocean planet, basically. And I like that. I really like that. It's got the space theme. It's got the sci-fi. It's got you're on an alien world. It's got dice allocation, and it seems really, really good. So I think I'm gonna give my Kickstarter of the Week award to the Artemis Project for all of those reasons. And so I was originally going to give it to Tiny Epic Mechs, but during recording this here, I decided to go ahead and give it to Artemis Project, because money permitting, I'm probably also going to back that one as well, just because I love the theme. I love everything about it. I like the colony building aspect of it. I love the dice building aspect. I love the art. I love the fact that you're all competing corporations, trying to build it up, trying to be the best of the best of the best, but you're also fighting against the events of the planet, because it's an alien world. We don't know what the hell's going on, and I'm hoping they have alien life that just screws with your stuff as well, because I don't know, I like that. But yeah, the Artemis Project is, if I only back one, it would be Artemis Project, so it's getting my Kickstarter of the Week award. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to help support the channel, I have links down below. If you're new here, stick around, hit that subscribe button. That also helps the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Keep playing games, and I'll see you guys next time in the quarantine.